Zach and I, today we're going to be talking about the Metro Arms 3011 SSD.
Yep.
We just received this firearm last night. We've had the chance to take it to the range, and Zach is going to tell you a little bit about the specs, the details of the firearm. I'll talk about why we purchased it. We'll both give you our pros and cons, and then at the end we'll give you a summary and what we think the overall value of the firearm is. So Zach, tell us a little bit about the details.
Yeah, all right guys, well let's just jump straight into this. Opening up the case from the manufacturer, what you are going to find, you are going to get one magazine from the manufacturer. You're going to get a lock for the trigger. You're going to get your firearm. There's also going to be an Allen wrench that is going to be used in the disassembly of the firearm. And then we got a couple other pieces of paper. The only important one that we got was the actual owner's manual. So, mind showing clear name?
I don't know. Alright, so nothing in the mag, rack, nothing in the barrel, chamber's clear, and we'll let down the trigger. Take it away.
Alright, so some of the finer specs on this firearm, guys, that we are looking at, it's going to be a 5-inch barrel. It's going to weigh in at just over 46 ounces.
What's that in pounds? Because no one knows what ounces is.
In pounds, if you're in America, 2.9 pounds is what it weighs at, so it's a very heavy firearm.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Yeah, very heavy firearm, and it's all steel construction, so that is what adds to the weight of this. Couple really nice things on this gun: it has a very aggressive extended mag release. It's going to make for a very good purchase with your thumb when pressing it. It's going to have some aggressive slide serrations as well, which you guys can see right here. So if you do ever want to press check, make sure you load it around, you easily can. And there's very little resistance within the actual slide itself. So I'm going to let down the hammer, and then Nate, do you want to give us some more details?
So this gun is advertised as competition ready. And that's something that you'll notice a lot of firearms are transitioning towards or talking about nowadays, is they're having competition ready models.
Yep.
Really what that means for this firearm is you have a flared mag well. This allows for faster and easier seating of the magazine. You're getting competition sights, which are flat black and then a bright red fiber optic front sight. You're also getting a 5-inch bull barrel, as Zach mentioned, which really just makes it excellent. You have a skeletonized trigger that right out of the box comes in at 3.5 pounds.
Yep.
It's really a joy to shoot. So the trigger part of it, you're not doing any type of manipulations. It is adjustable, meaning that the reset is adjustable. And so we did play around with that. We had the reset where we like it. And you're also getting aluminum grips, which come factory with a lot of these 2011 style firearms. So now Zach and I are going to talk a little bit about our pros and cons, what we both like about it, don't like about it, and we'll go into some more of the details.
All right, guys. So now what we want to talk about is just the pros and the cons of the gun. Nate and I both have varying perspectives on what we actually enjoy in a firearm. Nate and I both do shoot USPSA, which we have a separate link to in this video. We'll figure out how to do it.
Up there, I want to put it there.
Yeah, somewhere up there.
And, I don't know how to say.
But just the things that we like about a gun is going to be totally different. So Nate, what were some things that you noticed right off the bat that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, so right off the bat, the weight, the feel, the overall fit finish, there's no slide movement. It feels like it is a quality firearm.
Yep, I would agree.
I think do you get some type of warranty with it?
You get lifetime warranty from the manufacturer, which I think if you're selling a good product, you want a good warranty, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, so they definitely seem to back their product.
Yep.
So anyway, weight, fit, feel, and finish for the money, excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you? What do you like?
Actually the first thing I noticed is I'm a sucker for 1911 style triggers. So this trigger, as we mentioned earlier, pulls in at just about 3.5–4 pounds. It's crisp, it's concise, it makes for very little over travel, and the reset just feels comfortable.
And the reset's adjustable, right?
It is, yeah.
So you can adjust the pull weight, but what you can adjust is through the front of the trigger, there's an Allen wrench, and by adjusting that, you can adjust the amount of over travel and your trigger reset.
Yep.
And I thought that was pretty slick. So we got it adjusted and tuned to where we want, and I'm impressed.
Took just a couple seconds. I mean, really didn't take us long at all. Other thing that I was very impressed with is a bright red fiber optic sight.
Yeah.
And with these dovetail back sights just being matte, and then the red dot just being so aggressive, just makes for very easy sight acquisition. So the nice thing about a 1911 is it feels wherever you point it, that's, I mean, the sights naturally line up where they're going, and it feels with that red dot, it's just easy to find. That's what I really liked. So.
And this type of sight is actually new for me. I've not shot a flat black with a bright red fiber optic. The other cool thing is the top of the slide is actually a matte finish as well. And what that does is that ensures that you're not picking up any type of glare, or when you go to draw, you're not picking up something sooner down the slide. You're actually seeing the bright red fiber optic right off the bat. So I feel like that type of sight is something that I would even put on my future firearms.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yep. Was there anything you didn't like about the firearm?
So small cons.
Okay.
One magazine. So I guess my biggest thing is for a firearm that's advertised as competition ready, the firearm itself, I am 100% confident is competition ready.
Yeah,
like you
I would
can
agree.
compete at a fairly high level, a very high level, with this firearm right out of the box.
Yep.
You cannot. It's not competition ready. If you show up at your first match with this, you have a single 16-round magazine. That's tough for me. I think that at the very least you should have 2 mags.
Yep.
And I would have liked to see some type of extended base plate, maybe get the round count to around 18 rounds. And the reason why, the biggest reason is, so this mag well is an excellent feature.
Yeah,
like
I
we
would
both
agree.
have mag wells on our firearm.
Yep.
But the problem is, if you're coming in for a reload, sometimes with a magazine that sits flush, it's tough to seat it. You don't get the exact seating. So by adding a small base plate to the magazine, it allows you to ensure that not only do you seat it, but you get your final press, it seats properly, and then you're ready to shoot. And it gives you 2 extra rounds. So no one would complain. If you had 2 of those magazines, you'd have 36 rounds. I would feel confident.
And that'd be good for a competition.
Right. Most stages, 36 rounds. You should be able to at least finish the stage. 116 round, not quite as much.
Yeah, no. That would be my con as well. As Nate said, I think competition ready gun, absolutely hands down. I have an M&P9 that I've spent a lot of extra money adding parts to, which this gun already has most of what I've added to it, like a better trigger, the flared mag well, things like that are a lot of money in after market products that you can spend on, and this gun has it just out of the box. Only con, just 1 mag.
Right. And then for me, the grip's a little bit, there are some sharp points on the top of the grip. So when I grip my firearms, I do tend to grip them as high as possible, and I tend to have a very firm grip. So the problem that I've run into is not necessarily with the mag well at the bottom. That seems to feel just fine. And in fact, it's kind of nice to have that support at the bottom, but I am picking up a little bit of bite at the top of the grip. We shot this, a couple hours ago?
Yeah.
And I have a little bit of a red mark here. So it's either something that maybe slightly sanding down, picking up some aftermarket grips would reduce certainly that.
And to touch on that, again, Nate and I are totally different shooters. I haven't had this problem with the gun. I think the big thing with that is just how you end up gripping the firearm. Nate tends to be a little bit up higher with his grip, where I don't tend to be that way as much, so I haven't noticed that aggressive side where it bothers me at all. So for me, I haven't had any problems with that. So I think it just depends on the shooter.
All right, so what about bang for your buck, overall value, summary, what do you think?
Yeah, hands down for the 800 plus bucks, just a little over, absolutely worth it. I think it's a very high quality gun. It feels solid. It weighs, like we said, close to 3 pounds. Everything about the gun just feels solid. And so, yeah, a lot of it is competition ready. For 800 bucks, I don't think you can get a whole lot better than that. So
cool. I'd echo the same sentiment. I feel like for the money, $800. We picked it up for $835 from Bud's Gun Shop.
Yep.
Not something that we're paid to endorse, but that happened to be where we found the cheapest price.
Yep.
So $835 out the door. I'm impressed. We've shot STIs, we've shot CZs.
Yep.
It really feels like a very high-end firearm, very high fit finish, and we're actually going to shoot it in the competition on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to. We'll put it through its paces. We'll get another video up, and we'll show you guys what that looks like. But hopefully it won't be too bad.
Yeah.
We're going to borrow some mags from a friend. I think that's the only way we're going to get through it. Yep. But it should be a good time. So we will let you guys know how it finishes. So this is our first firearm review. We're excited to be doing this. We have a number of other firearms already lined up. We're ready to go. So throw a comment if you have questions about the firearm. We'd be happy to answer.
Yeah, please do, guys.
now we're gonna whore ourselves out. Like, subscribe, do whatever you do. But we're looking forward to making sure that you guys have information you need to make an informed purchase. So, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.